Hello everyone, welcome back to Bombe. Still plugging away at what it means to have negative bombs. I'm choosing to put off what I had at the end of the last video as a like, hey, maybe we'll finally tackle this mirror perspective thing. Just looked for another easy one, and look at this is easy. I guess I don't have this rule yet. And knowing one or more here is not enough. We do actually have to know one. So, I mean, we can just intersect these. I do care that this is size 0, though. So if we have an x or x plus 2 intersecting with an x plus 1, then we can say that this, oh, this should be, oops, this should have an x. Then this should actually be just x plus 2, right? Oh, this is an x plus 2, the whole thing, yeah. That's interesting. So we don't yet have parity for these regions which might be negative. Oh. Weirdly, even if I got the parity from this region, would it be right? Like, this region is neither 2k nor 1 plus 2k. It's minus 1 plus 2k. So, if I want to keep using parity rules and still get out parity, still get maximum flexibility, I actually need to make all my parity rules reach down into the negatives and use x minus 9 plus 2k and x minus 8 plus 2k instead of 0 and 1 plus 2k. I don't like that so much. Or actually, maybe most of my parity rules would still just work after that. So, if I take this region, but work at negative scales, x minus 9. So here I'd be choosing x is 8. Okay, whatever. Plus 2. Ignoring... God, I really need a better mouse. This mouse is fine. It's just old and it accidentally double clicks all the time. Then we can say that the whole region is x minus 9 plus 2k. Okay, it looks like my other regions. Well, I guess you can generate... Oh, God, this is horrible. If I wanted, I could say that 2k is... Any region of size 2k is also x minus 2 plus 2k, right? Just how bad would that be, do you think? If we said... x minus... No, actually I can't use 9. Let's try 7. Is also x minus 9 plus 2k? Oh, the x... What? Did I do these backwards? I can't read what's in those damn little... This is the 7, but it should be the 9, and this is the 9, but it should be the 7 or something? Yeah, and x minus 7 plus 2k is also... and x minus 9 plus 2k? That's true. And this is just atrocious. It makes so many bad regions. But I think they're regions that... Oh no, it's so bad. It's so bad. Lowest priority rule, please. It's just not worth it, man. If you do this, you're just going to be very sad. Remove this rule. Also, let's reset levels so I don't have credit for having beaten any of the ones that was necessary to beat. Although now I've lost track of what level I was on. It was over here somewhere, wasn't it? Here it is, I think. Yeah. So, the issue is that we don't have the parity rule for this yet. And the rule I just added and then deleted, I knew wasn't going to give me the parity for this region. But it was like, okay, well, for the parity for this region to do anything with my other existing rules, I would need to generalize down to smaller numbers for my parity rules. Oh, I have a minus 1 plus 2k here? I guess that makes sense. Wasn't there some better hint it could have given me earlier? Let's see if it'll give me that one again. So basically I have that the parity of these two squares, counting this as negative, which doesn't really matter for parity, is odd. I must have the parity for these. Yeah, the parity for these is even. So let's bring that to the forefront. Well... But that's not quite right. Is it? Because I mean, it's true, but it's not counting this square as negative. Negativity doesn't even affect parity. That's the worst part. I wish 2 star could allow star to be negative, but I guess it is consistent with the rest of the game that it doesn't. So if I hid this group, wouldn't it still be solvable? Yeah. If I was just saying that negativity doesn't matter for parity, right? Couldn't I just say... Now, the problem is I'm not sure a good way to generalize this. But a 1 plus... minus 1 plus 2k region... I mean, that's actually a 1 plus 2k region if you consider all the mines to be positive, right? So instead of turning all of my big numbers into small numbers of parity, I guess I could turn all of my small numbers into big numbers, like into positive numbers for parity. The problem is I don't think you can use a variable for that. Like, I can write this rule for minus 1. But I can't write... Or I can write a rule for minus 2. Say, you know, whatever. But I can't say, you know, minus... Negative x plus 2k has the same parity as, like, x mod 2 plus 2k. Like, that doesn't make sense. So I think I actually have to write a couple of these. As many, perhaps, as 9, but that's okay. I think this kind of... It's nice to have these be specific rules so that I don't generate a bunch of crazy, you know, crazy parities along the way. Like, if I wanted to write a recursive pair of rules, suppose that I could, although, as I've discussed, I can't, you know, and I had a minus 9 plus 2k... Recursively, I would make a minus 7 plus 2k, then a minus 5 plus 2k, then a minus 3 plus 2k, then a minus 1 plus 2k, then finally a 1 plus 2k. So I'd have made like 5 stupid regions I don't care about along the way. Oh, and also, I guess, I wouldn't really, right? Because I'm trying to mark these in terms of actual mines, not virtual mines including the negativity count. So all of them are just going to go to, well, I know the total parity of the region. Okay, I mean, I think I'm all right with this. Has it somehow not helped? Am I stupid? This area is 2k. I thought there was some region around here that was going to make that useful. Maybe not. Like, why isn't... this region? Why isn't this also a 1 plus 2k region? I see 1 plus 2k here, but I thought the rule I just created would put 1 here. Did I accidentally mark it just as negative? What's the last rule I made? Did I not submit? I'm pretty sure I hit... Well, this one's clearly wrong. I mean, this rule sucks. This was the one for generalizing. Okay, delete that. I thought I deleted it and then reran all the rules. Did I accidentally undelete somehow? I don't understand. So this rule, any size, 1 plus 2k, this should be 1 plus 2k, like that. Okay. Yeah. Did I hit the wrong button? I must have. Or maybe I double-clicked? Does the OK button turn into a remove rule button? Oh my god. That would explain why a couple times I've missed a rule. Okay. I've like created a rule and then just found it wasn't there. Alright, this rule's doing fine. What is this? This is 3 separate regions, all with negativity. So they must need some kind of special... There must be some way to derive more generic information from them. 0 or more in this area. I mean, doesn't that mean 0 or 2 here? It does. No, it doesn't, because there could be 1 here and none here. It means this one implies this one, but we don't get that rule. But it does mean, yeah, again, I could... If this is here, this has to be here. Which means this section can't count this as a minus mine. Right? So... This is actually a 1 region, and this is the only place for the mine? So I don't... Wait, why does it say I need this? Oh, because it's it could be a -1 region using this. Okay. But I can shrink this region a little by trimming this section out of it in a way. So if I have these 2 regions, I will figure out how to generalize it in a sec, but I just want to confirm that I have this much at least right. I could write a -1 or 1 in between this square and this square. No. I thought I couldn't count this as negativity because it would have to put 1 here. Well, right. I can't count it, like it could put a -1 here. But then there could be 1 out here as well. So there might actually be both of these, resulting in a 0 for this region. So this kind of can count as negativity in a way. It gets canceled out over here if you do. But that doesn't mean I can... And this square could count for positive. Yeah, I don't understand this. Oh, here's pretty much the same problem I have on every puzzle, yeah? Except with weirder numbers. Okay, I think I can solve this one. Although figuring out the right way to do it is still going to drive me nuts. Oh, this is probably one where I can't use a very big negative, right? Because if there's... Like, I think I want this to be of size x -2? Maybe just -1, I'm not sure. Hey, negative, please. So if I said this should be... So then this would match with x is 1. And I'd say, is there space out here for... Well, no. There are no negative cells in this range at all. So as long as x minus 2 is negative, and x plus 1 is non-negative, so I think I can actually go all the way to minus 3. So any size at all. Well, no. I mean, in a way, I can say that this is x, but it won't be true because it can pick x as 3. So what if I picked x as 9? Like x minus 9 somewhere. It would still say, oh, I'll choose x as 3. No, sorry. It would, well, then it wouldn't match here because it can't choose x as 10? Maybe it can. I don't know. I probably can. But anyway, it would just choose a big enough thing and say, well, it's definitely not the case that it has to be the bigger number all the time. So I guess I actually have to write specifically minus 1 and do a similar thing for minus 2 for numbers near 0. Because they're like, when the disparity goes through 0, things are a little weird, right? I don't know. I'm probably missing some cleverer way to handle this. Right? Any region labeled this way that doesn't have a negative component is actually 2. Solved a few cells. And do I already have this rule for minus 1/1 is actually 1? Oh, I don't want to update a rule. I want to cancel. I want to duplicate the rule. This rule, duplicate. Put a 1 there and say here. Oh my god. Put a 1 here. Not solving anything, huh? It's a little bit of a surprise. Maybe I have some general rule that handles this? I don't think so. I'm surprised this rule is as productive as it is. No, this is just the negative version of, okay, of a perfectly reasonable rule. I am not looking at a region that looks like this, man. This is awful. Next level, please. So there are one or more actual mines in the negative part of this. this, right? Which means this region counts negatively. But it still doesn't, like, I only know that this region is negative because there's not enough out here to add up to being positive. I could solve that by hand, obviously. But what's the principle? Why is that so? Yeah, I don't have a good answer for this. Oh, actually, I guess I was still going through these, right? Although I think that was the last one, maybe? Yeah, okay. Well, this is obviously a 1 region, not a 3 region. Right? Just like, well, this could be either. Although once we know that this is a 1 region, it'll be clear what this is, because it can't be 2. Or it can't be, I'm not sure. Maybe it isn't obvious. But this can't be a 3 region because there's not enough space in its positives for 3. Do I not have this already? A region with a positive total or 2 more than that, which has at most 1 more than that in its positive area, is actually a region of size X. I already have this rule. Why are you telling me this, then? Is it really not interesting to know that this is a 1 region? Isn't this region way better? It is, okay. So, I guess I need to write a hide for this. So that I don't get distracted like that again. When there's a region... Hang on. When these 2 regions are exactly covering the same squares, there's no cell that's outside of one but inside of the other, then, well, of course I have to relabel it with X's, but I would like to trash this one. Loses information. How? Oh, wait. Is it? Will you show me? Oh, I guess I haven't constrained them to have the same size overlaps. I see. So these two do have to be 0. So they have to have the same view of the cells as positive or negative as well. Sure. Hello? Okay, so wait, why is this region hidden? Oh, because of hint. Okay. But I trashed this region, the 1 or 3. When I hit hint, it's back. Ah, no, I see. This 1 or 3 that I trashed is counting this cell as negative. Hint mode is telling me, well, it's also true that there are 1 or 3 real mines in this area. I see. I mean, I'm sure I created this. Well, actually, where did this rule? Yeah, I made this. But hint mode is pointing out to me that it's important. So, what's up with this region? If it has total size -1, then we have this and neither of these. If it has total size 2, we have these and not this. So we have 0 or 2 of these two here, right? That's sort of what is the reason this 1 or 3 cares about it. Is that one of these is impossible. It has to be 0 or both. And the reason for that is that there's not enough flexibility out here. Right? If this covered all these spaces as well, then it would be possible to have one in here, let's say this one. And not this. No. Wait. It's not, okay. It's not a 0 or 2, it's a 1, isn't it? We either have this being negative, and therefore none of these, or this, if the total is positive, we have both of these and not this. Yes, there's one mine between these two cells, which we don't have written anywhere. That's what we need to derive. That would solve this part. One real mine. So this region by itself is just large enough that it could have a variety, right? It could be -1 or it could be 2. But it can only do so in 2 ways. Either just the -1 is filled, or both of the 2s are filled. So, I could, for example, say there's one mine between these two spaces as well. or between these two. I could say these two are the same. Ah, is that interesting? Wait, is it true? It is true. I'm not sure that it's going to be a good idea to write it, but let's just confirm. Yeah, that would be legal. Is that true for any region like this that only has any region that has only 3 cells, one of which is negative? I guess it is. That's interesting. Okay, so if we said x minus 9, I guess, size 2 here and 1 here, is then an x minus 9 or x minus 8 here? No. No. Right, because if you pick, like, well, here's an example. If you pick x is 6, there's a minus 3 minus 1, but the bomb actually can just go in the negative part. This only works if the two numbers straddle 0, I think. So what if I just write this rule? It's probably helpful, in general. Doesn't seem good here, but it's interesting. And it would let me write... well, nothing really. This rule is fired and solved 0 puzzles. But... I mean, I can write it with... I can intersect this group with this one and then say, like, you know, there's 1 in the part where they overlap. But that's really specific, really specialized, and at the same time too general, because I don't know what it is about this 1 or 3 that cares about there being 1 here, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe this collision is interesting enough. So I write, okay, in any x or x plus 2 here, let's say. Or actually, there's tons of regions there. Let's say it's just... well... shouldn't there be a 3 or fewer in here somewhere? There is. It got trashed. Why? Oh, because it's size 3. I see. Well, you know what? Let's just delete that visibility rule. I'm sure it's... let's just delete that rule. Some 3 or fewers lying around won't hurt anybody. I can hide them if they get too annoying. And then this 3 or fewer, instead of this 1 or 3. I know, I don't need the 3 or fewer, but... yeah, so it's telling me it's unsolved at this point, which is fine. What I want to do, really, is just have this... wait, is this what I wanted? I guess it is. -1 or 2, overlapping with any x or fewer. Don't... well, actually, hang on, let me... don't care how big this region is. If these two regions are each size 1, And so is this one. Then, actually, I don't even know if I can write a question mark there. Then we can say there is definitely exactly one real line between here and here. Now, can I put a question mark there? I can't. Yeah, I need all of these to be exactly the size they are. I can at least say any x or fewer here, because anything x or fewer is going to care about this one going into it, right? I don't like how specific this rule is to specifically like a -1/2, but this is like straddling 0 is a really important kind of region. I think it sort of makes sense to have some special handling for it. Apparently this did not solve the puzzle. I thought it would. Really? I don't have anything to handle this? Shouldn't this generate a 1 + 2k rule for itself? Did I trash it? No. Huh? Have I not? Region of size x, of label x, produces an x + 2k region. Oh, good. This is what I'm used to. Tons and tons of completely useless parity rules. I love it. This is why it became impossible for me to ever solve anything. I just had too many useless regions around. And now this is just like home. Oh boy, why is it taking so long to produce hints here? I know it takes a while when you have a huge number of regions, but this is just like a somewhat large number of regions. Are the robots taking up too much time? I guess they are. Pause the robots, please. This is just slow, I guess. I don't remember it being this bad for just 100 regions. And then in the end, I get something totally, like, way too big to be useful. I know 100 regions is, like, kind of a lot, but I don't know. I thought it used to be faster. And maybe it was. Maybe, you know, adding the negative rules made hints slower. That would make sense. Okay, where are we? This, again, is this kind of reverse polarity thing that I still, like, don't feel as though I've really understood. This sort of is too, probably. Okay, here's one I must have solved in the past when I had a better handle on non-negative rules. Well, yeah. This obviously can't be a 2 because it's inside a region that forbids having 2 mines. Nope, I'm not even gonna try to understand that one. Likewise, looks miserable. 0 or fewer here. So this is another, like, 1 here implies 1 here. But we don't have implication, so how else would I handle it? Not very well, I think. And 1 here... Oh. 1 or 2. So this is 1 here implies there has to be 1 here. And 1 here implies the whole of this has to be filled in, right? Here and here. So if there were a mine here, the whole thing would be forced to be mines. But that would be okay. So I guess, why does this have to be a mine? Because if it weren't a mine, this would have to be a mine, and then it would have to be a mine after all, right? By the way, well, okay. At the time of this video being published, this feature's been out like a week or something, I assume. At the time of this recording, this feature came out like today. And there's, if you look at the scores, there's someone with all 6,000. They solved all the hex problems. I don't really recognize these names as the people who were on the top of the leaderboard back when I was playing the first time around. I'm sure some of them are. Anyway, so my point is, none of these puzzles are impossible to solve. I have a proof. Someone has done it. Now, maybe they had access, for a few days before the public release or something. I'm sure there was a beta track or something. Or maybe they just did it all in one day. I don't know. Due to being so great at but sometimes you could imagine. Like, I remember before, when I was playing, people didn't know whether all the levels were solvable. Because it seemed like, obviously, they're generated to have unique solutions. But can you express those solutions in terms of the kinds of rules the game lets you write with at most 4 regions? I don't know if, it's been figured out yet whether they're all solvable or not. It was pretty close that, people were getting most of them. So it probably is. Anyway, but there could be such a puzzle that is not solvable. Except that someone's already done all the hex puzzles, so I know that isn't the case. That's why it's important to check that someone's done all the hex puzzles, I guess. So there's some way to reduce this into something that doesn't require all 5 of these regions. Right, 3 actual regions, but 2 of them are negative, so it would require 4 slots in the rule constructor. Yeah, I don't know. There are simpler puzzles than that one that I don't understand yet. Yeah? I guess that's true. If you have an x or x plus 2, and one that's slightly bigger than it by just 1 square... then you can definitely put a bomb there. Great. Oh, well, I don't have the robots on, so I don't know how many... Okay, turn the robots back on. Yeah, that's fine. Every time it triggers, it's going to clear a square. And if it ever triggers, that's pretty cool. Yeah? I mean, sure. If there's at most 1 mine in here, then this region can't be more negative than 1. So it must be... In order to get a negative into this area, it has to... It has to be in here. Alright, let's go back and look at this one. Maybe I could get an actual star. I know. This is the thing I keep putting off. Okay, this is not the best hint. Give me a better hint. I know there's a better hint. This is the good one. And I forget. I think if I take this... And okay, no, this is allowed. Yeah, this is still solvable. Priority 1.5? What the hell does that even mean? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand this. These two regions view these two cells oppositely. So in a way, a mine here is counterbalanced by a mine here in both of the rules, right? So... Can I basically just remove these two rules, these two cells from the rules, and say from each region, and say this is a region of size 1 plus, and this is a region of size 1 plus? I suspect. Well. Is that really true? I mean, it is in this case, right? I can just look at these and say, look, this spot has a mine in it, right? Or I could say... these two cells are 1 plus. But what if these overlap regions were bigger? Like, if I put 2 mines in here, would I also need 2 mines here? I mean, kind of. But, I don't know. Like, what if I just take this as it is and just replace the 1 pluses with X pluses? Is that even true? I don't know. If I then said, I want these two regions to also be x plus. It's true. And it's true no matter how big these sizes are. But change the size of this, and it's a problem. Interesting that that can be a 1 or a 0, but not any smaller? That is weird. Yeah, see, with a 2, this is... Why does this have to be size 1 or less? And if I made the intersection in here of size 2, for example, certainly the rule would still be valid. But could this be 2 or less? No, it has to be 1 or less. I don't understand this. Well, I kind of do. Because if there were room for like 100 mines up here, then a mine here, here, wouldn't really force a mine into this area exactly, would it? No, because you could put 100 of them up here. But I could put 1 up here, so why does it force 1 there? Huh. I assume I can write something quite large here, and it would be anything at all, in fact? Yeah. So why would a second space available for this part of the region break the conclusion that these two kind of are themselves a 1 plus? Why would it be possible to write a total of 0 in this area then? Well, because I could still achieve a total of 1 or more between just these two cells by writing in a mine here and not writing 1 here, because I could get this region up to capacity by adding more there. So this solves a bunch of puzzles. I don't totally understand why it is exactly as general as it is, and no more general and no less general. So how did that do with like this section? This place is hell. I generated so many garbage rules. The hint, like, found some cursed combination of 7 of them that would solve the puzzle, but you clearly don't need 7 regions. Yeah, we had much simpler solutions to this area before. But I've added so much extra clutter. Yeah, I'm turning into a hoarder again. Because I really have no idea when the rules... Oops, I canceled hint. I really have no idea when the regions I'm adding will contribute anything. That's the problem with the regions I add. The rules I define. They don't have a goal in mind. Usually. So here's the same sort of idea. But it's an x plus... I assume... Could I go get the 2 or more associated with this region? If I hide the 2, is it still solvable? Yeah. So this is the same idea, but with space for 2 of them to go out here instead of 1. So could I take that last rule I just wrote? Let's say duplicate it so I don't lose the existing one. And I need like a y here somewhere. If this were x plus y plus 1, like so, or fewer, and this were exactly x plus y or more. No, that doesn't work. And I don't really understand why. Like, well, here though, x is 2. What if I just said it were like x or fewer? That can't be right, can it? It is. And then here, y is unbound, but I think that's okay, because I'm basically saying if this were a region of like 10 plus, you'd still have a similar constraint, right? I'm gonna hit OK and see what happens. Solve the puzzle. So let's go back and delete this rule weirdly, because I think it's strictly less general than the other one. Huh. I don't understand that. So I'm at 3551 right now. Let's just make sure if I reset rules, we get all there. I mean, I guess if we don't, what am I going to do about it? I just deleted my rule. 3550 already, huh? But not 3551. Even though it's... Oh, I see. This is just in hexes. So I did lose one somehow there. Undelete rules. No, I didn't lose it by undeleting that rule, because I was still at 3550. It was something else I did in the past. That I deleted previously a rule that had helped me solve a region and didn't reset levels to check whether I still had it solved. Okay, well, it's nice to get a couple stars. I don't know. I might be done. Like, the negative regions are interesting, but I think I might just be out of here. We'll see. Maybe there will be another episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.